And what you try to do is the best and try to do it easy. And Joao Felix had that confidence on himself, that talent, who allowed him to control, have a look, and hit that ball with the out of the foot. That is something, trust me, very, very difficult.
So if he has that talent, and if he's only one in a million players who can do it, why isn't he starting every game, Luis?
Yeah, because there is a lot of work. He just mentioned that he wants to become better, and continue working hard every day. I think he needs to continue working on the mental side of the game. There are moments where you are not playing the same way, and you need, you need to bring something different into the field. And what is that difference? Is what I was talking about Ferran Torres. When Ferran Torres was criticized and wasn't having a good chances in front of the goal, he wasn't capitalizing the chances, he was continue working and running and pressing and giving something extra to the team. And that's why Joao Felix, in the moment that things were not going on his side, or he wasn't performing the way he was expected, he dropped down. He wasn't the same player. He wasn't as intense as Xavi needs to be. And, well, it was Ferran Torres who got his position. And right now it's difficult to remove him because he's scoring goals, he's assisting, and he continues working. So Joao Felix needs to continue learning about that side of the game. It's not only about football. It's not only about the talent. There are a psychological aspect of football that you need to work very well and need to have very clear.
It's interesting. I remember talking when Jurgen Klinsmann was on, I asked him about Leroy Sané, who we see brilliant moments from him, but in other games, he's anonymous. And Klinsmann said, he's the sort of player that gets you sacked as a coach. Yeah. How do you deal with that?
You have to rely on the other players more than anything else. For example, if Barcelona are winning every week, 2 and 3-0, and maybe Felix is not scoring or not contributing, you can afford to then just leave him and let him play through it. But when your team's struggling a little bit, you need everybody to be helping out. You can't carry any passengers. And the truth of the matter is that at Atletico Madrid, the reason he didn't play was because when he wasn't at it, he was a passenger.
Right.
And I understand what Luis is talking about. He needs to change his mental attitude. But the fact is, he's now fallen into the same trap at Barcelona because he doesn't contribute anything, nothing, other than when he's assisting or scoring goals. And if he's not doing that and your team's struggling, you can't play him. You have to play somebody who may not be as talented, but who works, who will be in the position defensively, who will chase back, who will at least get in a position where he's helping the team. Unfortunately, as talented as Joao Felix is, he doesn't do any of that when he doesn't have the ball.
Joao Felix, of course, 8 years older than Lamine Yamal, Shaka. This was his standout performance in a Barcelona shirt, wasn't it, that we've seen?
Yeah, without question. I can't think of a better individual performance by Lamine Yamal that we've seen, and we've seen Lamine for some time now. We've sung his praises. We've spoken about his potential, but as a performance, as a total game, I thought this was as good as we've seen. Listen, Ferran Torres will grab the headlines, and rightly so, but I thought for large spells, Lamine Yamal simply was unplayable. Betis weren't quite sure what to do with him. They had no answers for him when he was in possession. His passing range is something just to be admired. That pass for Torres' hat-trick really was as good a pass as you will see in this game. And then you have to remind yourself that this kid is 16 years old. If he continues along this trajectory, and I know it's a big ask, all of a sudden Barcelona have a player that they can build things around in the long term. We're a long way from that yet. But if he can continue in this kind of form, my goodness, what a gem he is.
So lots of positives from the game, but maybe a slight negative is the fact that Xavi felt it necessary to bring off Lewandowski with an hour gone in this game, Luis. And then, of course, without him, they go on and win it. How is he going to handle this situation?
Well, I guess it's totally true that it was unexpected to see Lewandowski leaving so early on the game. Maybe Xavi thought that because of the last game on the competition, he looked tired. He's a player who we all know is not getting any younger, and he cannot play 90 minutes every single game, and you need it fresh because there are more games coming in just 3-4 days time. So at the end, you need to think ahead. Maybe sometimes we only think about what happened during this game, and Xavi thought that maybe bringing Roque at up front it will give something different to the game because he wasn't getting involved. But definitely it's another color of attention to because it's not the first time. And we said that when Victor Roque arrived to Barcelona, it was going to be good for Lewandowski because he's going to have to push and to bring his game a little bit higher to a better standard because this season it hasn't been the best for him after seeing what he did last year. So I think that it's not because he's not doing the things right, but Xavi is telling him, listen, if you're not going to give me goals, if you're not going to give me something extra, I got another one who can give me something more.
It's going to be a problem, Stevie. You're 2-2.
Yeah.
And you take off your star striker.
Absolutely, it's a problem. Yeah, you can sugarcoat it whatever way you want if you're Xavi about resting him and everything else. But the truth of the matter is, his level has dropped recently. Mm-hmm. He hasn't looked the same player. And as a coach, you can only let that go for a certain period of time. So, yeah, absolutely, you should be worried.
Barcelona, of course, have one real chance, don't they, of silverware this season. That is the Copa del Rey. We'll be bringing you all 4 quarter-finals midweek. Barcelona have a tough old tie there at San Mamés to take on Athletic Club. It starts with Celta Vigo against Real Sociedad. Girona, meanwhile, away against Mallorca. Then Thursday, Atletico Madrid take on struggling Sevilla. All of those games are live on ESPN+.